Hello everyone. Welcome to Chapter 7, all about air. In this presentation, we will explore the fascinating world of air. We'll learn what air is made of, its amazing properties, how we use it every day, and what causes air pollution. Get ready to discover the invisible yet vital substance that surrounds us. Did you know that even though we can't see air, it's everywhere around us? Think about flying a kite or riding a bicycle. You can feel the air, right? In this chapter, we're going to dive deep into understanding what air is. But first, let's refresh our memory about matter, which is what air is made of. Here's a fun fact for you. It might be invisible, but a typical room holds a surprising amount of air, about 150 pounds or 68 kilograms. Everything around us, including air, is made of matter. Matter is defined as anything that has mass and takes up space. It's composed of incredibly tiny particles called molecules. And guess what? These molecules are made up of even smaller particles called atoms. Different types of matter have different kinds of molecules. Matter exists in three main states. First, we have solids, where molecules are arranged in a regular pattern, very close to each other, so they can't move much. This gives solids a fixed shape and volume, and makes them rigid, like a pencil or a kettle. Next, there are liquids, where molecules are loosely packed and not in a regular pattern. These molecules can move freely, allowing liquids to flow and be poured, like water or juice. They have a definite volume, but no definite shape. Finally, we have gases, like air. Gas molecules are very loosely packed and spread out to occupy all the available space in their container. Gases have no definite shape or volume and can be easily compressed. Think about the steam from hot tea or smoke. These are also gases. Here's an interesting fact. Gas molecules are always zipping around super fast, much quicker than the molecules in solids or liquids. Even though we can't see air, it has some very important properties. First, pure air is colorless, tasteless, and odorless. You can't see it, taste it, or smell it. Second, air fills space. When you blow air into a balloon, it gets bigger because air fills the space inside and gives it shape. Air also has weight. You can prove this by comparing a deflated football to an inflated one on a weighing machine. The inflated one will be heavier because of the air inside. Fourth, air occupies space. If you put an upside-down glass with a tissue inside into a bowl of water, the tissue stays dry because the air trapped in the glass occupies the space, preventing water from entering. Finally, hot air expands. If you attach a balloon to a bottle and heat the bottle in water, the balloon will inflate because the hot air inside the bottle expands and takes up more space. A fascinating fact about hot air balloons is that they rise into the sky because the air inside them is heated. This hot air expands and becomes less dense or lighter than the cooler air around it, allowing the balloon to float up. Air is a mixture of several gases that surround our planet. The primary components are nitrogen, about 78%, oxygen, about 21%, and small amounts of other gases like carbon dioxide, neon, and argon. It also contains water vapor and trace amounts of other substances. This mixture is essential for supporting. It's a mix of several things. First, air contains water vapor, which is water in its gaseous state. This forms when the sun's heat evaporates water from puddles, wet clothes, ponds, lakes, rivers, and seas, mixing it with the air. Air also contains smoke, which comes from vehicles, factories, than burning things like crackers or garbage. This smoke releases harmful gases. We can also find dust in the air. If you look at a sunbeam in a dark room, you can often see tiny dust particles moving. Lastly, air contains germs, which are very small living things that can make us sick. These germs can spread when someone coughs or sneezes, so it's important to cover your mouth. The main gases in air are 78% nitrogen, which is the most abundant gas, 21% oxygen, which we need to breathe, and 1% carbon dioxide and other gases. Here's a cool fact. On top of Mount Everest, the world's highest mountain, there's so little oxygen in the air that climbers absolutely need to bring their own oxygen tanks to be able to breathe. Air is incredibly useful in many ways. All animals and plants need air to breathe. Specifically, living things require oxygen, while plants need carbon dioxide to make their food. Air helps clothes dry faster by carrying away water vapor. It's also absolutely essential for burning. If there was no air, we wouldn't be able to light anything, even a candle. Air can also make things move. Birds fly with its help, it makes kites and parachutes fly, and it makes the blades of a windmill turn. Did you know that windmills can use wind to produce electricity or even draw water from wells? That's a strong wind. The fastest wind ever recorded on Earth was an incredible 250 miles per hour during a typhoon. While air is essential, it can also become harmful when it's polluted. Air pollution happens when gases, dust particles, fumes, odors, or germs are introduced into the atmosphere in a way that makes it harmful for humans, animals, and plants. What causes this pollution? Major culprits include smoke and harmful gases from factories and industries. Smoke released from burning garbage and bursting crackers also contributes significantly. And let's not forget the fumes from car exhausts, which contain dangerous gases. The effects of air pollution are serious. It can make it difficult for us to breathe and cause health problems like lung diseases, respiratory infections, and heart disease. Air pollution also harms the ozone layer in our atmosphere, which protects us from the sun's harmful rays, leading to a rise in global temperatures and climate changes. It's a serious issue. Air pollution is responsible for about 7 million premature deaths globally every single year. It's truly one of the biggest environmental threats we face. So, we've covered a lot about air in this chapter. We've learned that air is matter, made of tiny molecules and atoms, and it exists in different states like solids, liquids, and gases. We explored air's amazing properties, how it's colorless, tasteless, and odorless, how it fills space, has weight, occupies space, and expands when heated. We also discovered what air contains, from water vapor and dust to germs, and its vital gas composition of nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide. We highlighted the many ways we use air, from breathing to burping and making things move. Finally, we understood the serious problem of air pollution, its causes like factory smoke and vehicle fumes, and its harmful effects on our health and the ozone layer. Remember, breathing clean and fresh air is essential for all of us. Let's do our part to keep our air clean. Here's a great fun fact. One of the very best ways to improve air quality is by planting trees. Trees are natural air cleaners because they absorb carbon dioxide and release fresh oxygen. Thank you for joining this presentation on air. I hope you learned a lot and now have a better understanding of this invisible but vital part of our world. Keep exploring.